Good morning, good morning. We are taking on raids with randoms. Now we have the event Corviknight up here, and if you'll hold with me for a second, I will pull up the script. The Corviknight has Scary Face, Drill Peck, Steel Wing, Brave Bird, and a single scripted Hone Claws that happens at 85% time, so it will boost its attack and accuracy fairly early on in the raid. Now it does also have a scripted Brave Bird. I'm less worried about that. And it does have the capacity to have mirror armor. Now, if you pay attention to the raid screen, it should tell you whether it has pressure or a nerve at the start of the raid. If it doesn't have one of those pop up, you can pretty much guess that it has mirror armor and should not use things like acid spray, breaking swipe, things of that nature. Now, since it's Tera electric, ground would be super effective, but we could also use anything that would be neutral, as long as we're not weak to, I'd say, not weak to flying or steel, and you should be good. So I'm going to avoid using fighting-type strategies unless I were to use my body press stamina build. Otherwise, I'm kind of leaning towards Jawsome here because I have Dragon Cheer, which can boost my entire squad, and if it does not have mirror armor, I can use Breaking Swipe to charge my Tera. So I think I'm going to go with that first. I'm going to go ahead and front Jawsome here. As you could see from the setup here, ooh, everyone's locked in. All right, I have Earthquake, Breaking Swipe, Dragon Cheer, and Swords Dance with attack boosting nature, and it is maxed out. So we're going to go ahead and go with that one. Everyone's locked in. One of them is a Dragon type, and nobody here is weak to Steel, but the Hydrapple is weak to Flying, so I'm kind of hoping we're not dealing with mirror armor here so that I can go ahead and get my Breaking Swipe on it to help protect Hydrapple. So we're going to go ahead and throw that in there and hope for the best here. Hopefully our squad is at least partially competent and bringing some good stuff to their side. We did get a full party lined up and locked in very quickly without having to wait for the whole timer to run down. So let's see if we can get this. Now pay attention to the screen because it's going to show us, it's going to tell us what the ability is. Corviknight is telling us, okay, there's Terra Shift. Abilities will trigger in speed order. Unnerve. It is not mirror armor. It is safe to debuff. But before debuffing, I'm actually going to go ahead and Dragon Cheer to boost the squad. Make sure everybody's critical hit rate is boosted. Now, even though Hydrapple does have a weakness to flying, oh, there we go. It's using Reflect to protect us a little even further. That is helpful for everybody. I was going to say, I am worried about Hydrapple being weak to flying, but it shouldn't be too huge of an issue because Hydrapple is an extremely bulky Pokemon. Alright, Syrup Bomb is going off. Gigaton Hammer is going off, but it's going to be a resisted Gigaton Hammer, so that's not too helpful. But Breaking Swipe is going to go ahead and weaken it while we charge up our Tera. And because we have a squad, I am not going to bother Swords Dancing because at 25% hit points, Corviknight is going to reset the player stats, as you can see on the Cerebi page I had up a minute ago. Alright, Corviknight is... Oh, one of these guys is also packing Rocky Helmet. That's an interesting choice. There we go. I took that. Now, I would also suggest, because it has Scary Face as a standard move, you could bring something with Defiant or Competitive against the Corviknight raid, since it has that stat drop as a standard. It'll boost you without you having to do anything. But I would not suggest Annihilate because of that weakness to flying attacks. Terapagos is Terrassalized and going strong. Shields are up. And this is my second Breaking Swipe, I think, that was going off. Yep, I had two go off. But like I said at the beginning, make sure that when you're doing a Corviknight raid, pay attention to the ability playing at the front of the screen. It will tell you if it has pressure or a nerve, so if you don't get an ability notification from Corviknight, it is not safe to debuff. You would want to focus on buffing yourself first, or buffing yourself instead. Rough Skin also getting a little bit of chip damage in there. That's helpful. And it did, yeah, it does a Tera Drain at 40% hit points, which it had already passed. We already have a couple of other guys that have already Terra'd. A Tera Fairy. Yeah, and they're using steel attacks into an electric type, so the Tinkaton is not running a favorable set for this raid. If they were running fairy attacks with the Tera Fairy, it would have been doing more damage. And, you know, I cannot even say that I necessarily did the most work in this. I think that probably goes to Terapagos since it was using Earth Power. I guess my Garchomp was just providing a little bit more of a support role thanks to the Breaking Swipe and Dragon Cheer, giving everyone a little bit of a boost in survivability. But overall, the Corviknight, or these event raids, they are 5-star raids, so you fight them level 75. So if you're bringing level 100s, they shouldn't be that difficult. The only thing that would make them difficult is if you end up paired with a squad of completely, like, bad picks. If everybody brought fighting types or something, that would be a bigger issue. Jeez, attacks were still going off. And there we go, we do get our rewards, the EXP candy, the big candy. Now, these rewards aren't as great as the Blissey raids are during the 7-star raid events, but it is still a good collection of prizes. So remember, make sure to get these event raids while you can. Corviknight is a decent raid Pokemon that can run support options, offensive options. I have one set up with Iron Defense Body Press and Hone Claws and Power Trip. I love the Power Trip build when paired with something like Alcremie to use Decorate on it, because the Power Trip can really go off in that respect.